Alright, hey everyone, this is Cody with Interstellar. We have Wiggins who undefeated our locals today.
Hello.
Go ahead and let me know what you played.
I played Superheavy Samurais, the best deck of the format, except for cash statistically, but this is by far, like, I think the best deck, so.
Well, let's go ahead and get into it.
Alright, so we got all the starters, 3 Soul Piercer, the second best one to open, I feel like, next to this one. This is, I feel like, is a better starter. And then you got 3 of the Eroda, and then 3 of the Wagon, which is by far the worst one. It is just diet Soul Piercer, but it loses way harder to Droll than a lot of the other cards. This deck actually plays through Droll pretty well, I would say. Everyone's just like, oh, it's gonna be like the ender of this deck, but it like really doesn't. Like, you can't full combo, but you can still really play. So play 2 Big Benki. I mean, you need these for the cards. You don't want to play 3. It's a brick. And I play 2 of this. A lot of people only play 1. But it's really good to play through a bunch of hand traps. Everyone's playing like 2 billion hand traps. So opening this card helps you play through Droll, helps you play through Ash, basically every hand trap. So lets you end on something. And then you play the 1 Scales, the 1 Soul, 1 Stealthy. All these are really good. I cut this in the past, but it's just too good. It's just an extender for free. So, and then a lot of other people play the other Soul card that you special summons itself, but I don't play that. I just don't think it's necessary. So, I play 2 Regulus. A lot of other people do not play 2 Regulus, but this card is way too good. It's great to open. It's great to search. It's great to make on your end board, and then your opponent cracks your board, and then you make a Sargus, and then search another one. And a lot of times it's game breaking. So, like ending on Zeus with like 4 or 2 materials, and then Regulus with a Soul Piercer attached, which gives you follow up. A lot of people just cannot play through that. And I play 2 Kaijus. I side 2 more versus cash and everything, but these let you out things that you can't normally, and this is obviously sorterable with the Quillfort Genius. Then the 1 Tunnler, 1 Box. People cut these. I just think they're way too good. Drawing 2 cards at the end of your combo helps you play through Dark Ruler and everything like that, because it gives you hand traps. A lot of times, unless you're me, and then you draw 2 of the Wagon. And then the hand traps, so you play 3 Gamma and 1 Driver. You can do a lot under an empty board just for throw of this card. So like, if your opponent's like good, if you do this or activate this effect on an empty board, your opponent won't normally Droll you, Ash you, or Ogre you in this scenario. So it'll let you go a little bit farther than you normally would. Also just a very good hand trap. And then I play 3 Ogre, very good versus Superheavy Samurai. It's good against purely because you can hit the My Friend, which is getting rid of that card, gets rid of a lot of their follow-up. And then also against Branded, because a lot of the things they're doing now is like end phase, like Fallen to Albazing, Fusioning, so this card counters all that. And like Cartesia, so they can't make, in simplified game states, they can't make the Granola Bar Dragon. So 3 Droll. This card's insane versus Super Heavy Samurais. It's good versus like Sprite and a bunch of other decks. But the 2 decks I don't really like it against are Pearly going second. I don't really like this card. I only like this card going first. Because going second, a lot of the times they do all their stuff in their draw phase, which means you can't Droll them, and then by the time you Droll them, it just isn't really that effective. But going second, it stops your opponent from like OTKing you with like Happiness and Beauty. So that's actually very important. And then 3 Ash. Stops Branded. It's just a good overall hand trap, but like not the best one versus a lot of decks. But it's probably the best like universal one. And then 2 Veiler and a Ghost Mourner. These ratios could be changed depending. Ghost Mourner is really good versus like Purely and stuff, but I really like Veiler for like just being able to activate it whenever in the main phase. So, and also on normal summons. So I just like the mix. Also, like, if I only play 1, I can never like draw 2 and then have 1 be dead. So, and this card's not once per turn. So that's the main deck. It's 41 cards. I don't ever play 40 cards for some reason. So, and then tokens, and then extra is 2 of the link ones. Very important to the combo. I haven't had anyone Reapers this yet, so I don't know combos without it, but it gets you a lot of places. Even like some scenarios, like you're making this one, then summoning back the Soul Piercer, and then making another one underneath it just to get a search for like the whatever one summons from the deck. I can't remember its name, but that lets you play through a lot of things. Genius to search the Regulus or the Jizukiro. Lambda, because it is part of an end board where you make Omega instead of Appaloosa with this thing underneath it, so you rip a card out of their hand and search Gamma in the end phase. So that is really good against a lot of decks. I like to do that versus decks that like have a lot of board breakers or normally play like Kirakura. So, and then like the one Appaloosa, it's this end board's better versus like some other decks like Super Heavy Samurai, I'll make like Appaloosa instead of like the Lambda, like Gamma combo. And then for the synchros, we play this. This out's also Babushka. I gotta remember that. This card's very good against Super Heavy Samurais when you stop them by hand trapping and then they make Babushka. You can make this, then attack over, and then pop their scale, and then it does a lot. So. And then Omega, which you can make middle part of a combo to rip a card out of your opponent's hand and then search a Gamma, so it's very important. Borlo Savage, I've thought about cutting it, but it helps you go over big monsters by attaching other link monsters to it, because this deck has a hard time getting rid of things that are above 3,000 attack. So this card helps you by equipping like Genius. Excel and Baron, standard for the combo, everyone should know it at this point. Then for the XYZs, we play a Geargian. I play this over the Ballista because I always draw a box, and Ballista sucks when you draw the box, so this card doesn't. Then you play Babushka whenever you get drolled, and against Branded, having Lambda sat behind this thing is very, very good, because you can attack their board, and they really can't do anything about it. And then Merrymaker Sargus, this is part of the reason why I play a second Regulus, because when you start the combo, you search one, and then going on the third game, you'll make a Zeus and then search another Regulus. So it kind of clears up the game. And then a Zeus, because yeah, you need it, especially since you can make a 4 material with a Sargus. It makes Zeus even better. So. And then for the side deck, yeah, it's very short. You'll play 2 Phantasmes. I like this versus Link decks. Helps you draw into more hand traps, so eventually like Dragon Link and Super Heavy Samurai mainly. Mathmech, yeah, but a lot of times I don't against Mathmech just because there's other cards I want to side in. So Mathmech is very scary. I played 2 more Game of Seals mainly versus decks that can make Chaos Angel, because that card is scary, and Kashtira. And then I play 5 Disseals. And this is for Mathmech, Branded, everything like that. I am scared of Mathmech, so play these. These cards are also like FTKs versus Mathmech a lot of the time. You Bestial their Sigma, and then you search one at the end phase, and then you Bestial their Diameter. They lose pretty much automatically. 3 Lancia. These are mainly for Kashtira, but I also side in like 2 versus decks that will side in the Performer Pal 5's Magician, because you can set it, and a lot of times you can stop them from activating their like spells and traps, because then they'll be locked underneath it. So you can out it without outing it, which will hurt your opponent too. And then for some more cards to get rid of the 5's Magician, I play 2 Eccentric, and I also play 1 Magical Pound.
Oh geez, what is that?
So this card is essentially, you can activate it from your hand or graveyard, and you can bounce one of your opponent's face-up spells and traps, and then special summon it. So if they have the 5's Magician, you can out it by summoning it, and this thing's also searchable off the Ancient Gear box. So if you have the Tunneler, or you know they're going to have it in hand, or they side it, you can like add this to your hand with the box, and then when they bait all your negates, they'll activate that card, and then you just out it and kill them. So that's the deck.
Well, once again, as always, thank you, and